All right. Hello, everyone. This is the Comfortably Curious AI podcast. I'm John, and over here is Rebecca. And what's this about? Right? We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about why AI. We're going to talk a little bit about you as a listener who probably doesn't have time for yet one more thing. But here we go. Rebecca, go for it.
Well, I just want to let people know that our goal is to make you feel seen and also curious. And we're not, like John said, we're not trying to shove a bunch of more information down your throat.
Right.
Um,
Or add one more thing to your evening.
right. And like I'm a quantum healer, I'm a coach, I practice lots of different modalities. I help people in lots of different ways. That's my job. And then I I've been using AI for the last 3 years, and when I came to you, John, and said, "Hey, I think there are a lot of people out there that are really curious about AI, but they just don't know how to get started with it. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to use it." Because over the past 3 years, I've had to learn how to use AI. You have to prompt it.
Mm-hmm.
There are different things to tell it. There's different ways of setting it up. There's different apps. They do different things.
Yep.
So, John and I just want to come on here every week and give you all different tools on how to use AI, some prompts, and direction on what to do with it, but in
Yep.
a curious way. That's why we said comfortably curious.
Yeah.
Like, we want you to be
you,
comfortable.
you know what's interesting is it's really easy to get like early wins with AI, have it do something fun real quick.
Yeah.
And so that, getting over that part is not going to be too hard. What I think where we're going with this is like now that you're comfortable with it, here's something else you can do to make it even better, even easier, even more, I guess, reliable, but how to grow with it basically.
Yeah. So, we want to make AI not scary, we want it to be fun.
Yeah.
And actually practical and pragmatic. Like, how can normal humans use it? How can entrepreneurs use it? How can spiritual folks use it? I know I'm a parent and I've used it for lots of different parenting things as well. And I have an awesome story with AI, how it helped me manifest over $30,000 in 10 days.
That sounds like something I want to know right now.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Let's hear it.
Okay. So my son was this past year getting ready to go to college, and I thought he and his dad, he had told me, and so did his father, we're not together. So he and his dad, though, had told me that they had everything for college tuition figured out,
Hmm.
FAFSA, all the things. So I said, okay. So June of this year, my son calls me. Was it June or the end of July? It must have been the end of July. It was
Wow.
the end of July of this year. My son calls me crying.
Oh no.
18-year-old young man. He's bawling on the phone and he says, "Mom, Dad is no longer going to help me financially with college or anything. Like, I'm on my own financially with Dad.
Oh.
And he just told me that he's not going to really help me with the financial side of college either. And I need $34,000 in 10 days. Like, my college bill, my college tuition is due." Yeah. And
Okay.
I had
Wow.
been asking them, I had been asking both of them, like, do we have everything set up? Have you already applied for, and he didn't help him with anything. So I worked with ChatGPT. ChatGPT helped me through it and came up with all these ideas on how to apply for FAFSA, how to ask the college for a extenuating circumstances, how to
Uh-huh.
write the letters, how to contact the college tuition board, how to contact this other college and ask them to give Quinn a um, it was like a it was like their scholarship and their package that they were going to give him, send it to us so we could send it to the other college and then ask the other college to like match that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And it's all just it's like the structure of what you need to do. You need to connect here, write this letter, and AI organizes all that stuff, doesn't it?
Well, it gave me a bunch of ideas, and then I also had to sort of like banter back and forth with it because sometimes it would tell me an idea, and I said, "No, I don't think that's going to work. This is
Right.
actually what's going on.
Yep.
Can you tell me something else?" And then gather more information. Like I would go on Google and do a bunch of research, and then I would send it to AI and say, "Hey, this is what I've found out. This is what's going to work. These are the parties involved. This is what we're dealing with." Like I had to give it a bunch of information.
Oh, absolutely. The more the better on AI.
So for 10 days, I sat with it and practiced with it and played with it. And it really did help me figure out how to write the letters, what to say, who to talk to, how to talk to them. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but it told us how to call FAFSA and work with FAFSA and all these different things that I had no idea. I mean, it was like a crash course in college tuition, which is a big deal. Like
Yeah.
it's really hard
Yep.
in 10 days. And then, so we got his tuition down to $4,000.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's that's one of the coolest stories I've ever heard,
Yeah.
my friend. That's
So
it's
I
amazing.
use AI for that. I use it for meal planning and food all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm hungry and I go in my kitchen and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't think of a recipe right now, I just put in
What you
all,
have, right? The ingredients. This is what I have. What can I make, right? I love that.
and then it tells me.
Yep.
And I've done that so many times.
Yep. So here's one of my first AI stories. This is on a totally different track. My son is a fanatic Minecraft player, and when I learned about AI, everyone is saying, "Oh yeah, you can get ideas and it can talk to you, et cetera, et cetera." And I just had a whim. I said, "You know what? Let's see how smart AI is." And so I said, "All right, I want you to write me a poem about Minecraft, and I want you to take this phrase that always comes up in Minecraft that says you can only sleep at night. That's line one. Write me a poem."
Oh,
And it wrote a rhyming poem in 4 verses, all starting with "You can only sleep at night." And there it was within seconds. And I was like, what is this craziness? Right?
yeah.
That right there made me go, wow, okay. All right, I'm in. Let's what else, right? But that kind of, blew me away, mainly because, the creative process is kind of mostly in the human realm. And that was the first time I had ever seen a machine or a piece of software create something like that. So that to me was one of the biggest surprises, I think, when I first started using AI.
Yeah. I know. I put in paragraphs and things that I write all the time, and I say stuff like, how would you make this better? Or
Mhm.
can this sound a little bit different? Or this is the point I'm trying to make. How can you help me word this in a way that makes sense to the
Mhm.
person that's reading it?
Yep.
Or
I've taken a letter that I've written, or an email written, that where I'm really, really ticked off about something, and I want it softened. I'm like, all right, AI, this is how I feel. Can you soften it so that the person receiving it is actually going to listen?
yeah, yeah, for sure. So I want to name a couple of things. Some fears that people might have about AI. AI is not going to take your job. It's not meant to take over your intuition and your own knowing. And, it's not here to replace you. It's here to add to your life, to add to your business. I think one of the things that we've talked about several times, John, about AI is how much it can do for us and give
Mhm.
us more time.
Right. Yep. I agree with that. One of my favorite quotes is, AI will not replace humans. Humans who use AI will replace the humans that don't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, not to push it too hard, but one of the reasons we want to help people learn and just get familiar with AI is because that's going to help you in many aspects of life.
Well, I first came to you with this idea about helping people with AI because I've heard a lot of my clients say, I don't use it because I'm afraid of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have several clients who are like, AI is going to take over my job. Well, if you really feel that way, then my interesting point of view is maybe you should figure out how AI isn't going to take over your job or how you can do your job with AI. And then you're going to be like in the front of the line when it comes to who can help us with this and this and this and this and
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Like if you're in marketing, if you're in admin, if you're in whatever, coding, banking, whatever it is, all the things that AI is projected to take over, then figure out how you're irreplaceable with it.
Yep.
And one of the
You
ways is to learn
as
to
the
use it.
yep. You using the tool are going to be more powerful than you without the tool.
Yeah. Yeah. So AI will take over my job. I'm not techie enough. I'm not techie at all. I'm not a geek. Like I don't know techie things.
And
I had
sadly, I
to
am.
John to help me with my website.
Right. So that's why we're make this. I think that this we make a really good pair here, because I am technical. My whole career has been in technology, and so I might have a blind spot a little bit for certain things. Like, oh well, that's easy because it's just naturally what I do. And Rebecca might say, no, that's not easy. This is hard for some people. What is the non-technical way to say that?
Yeah. I think people too feel like it's cheating. And my thing is, I think we thought that when we first got like indoor electricity. I think we felt like that when we first had calculators. I think we felt like that when we had email. And I can remember when e-commerce was just coming on board and
Hmm.
everybody was so afraid of it. And I worked for this company that sold the coding and e-commerce websites and businesses at the time. This was like back in 1995. Businesses at the time were like, why do I need a website that to sell things online?
Yeah, they're like, we sell things just fine from our store.
And that
And
changed quickly.
right, how much Black Friday shopping was done online this year? Pretty much
Right,
all of it.
right. Well, I do a lot of, I mean, I hate to say this because I love to shop local too, but I do a lot of my shopping online.
Yeah, I do too. And you can still shop local online,
Yeah,
but
you can and DoorDash it and all of
yeah,
the
yep,
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool stuff.
So I think that's one thing that we need to sort of address as well is if you're thinking, why do I need to learn AI? Well, why did you need to learn e-commerce? Or why did you need to learn how to use a smartphone? Or
That's a really good parallel. Yeah, I don't
why do
need a
you really need to
phone.
learn email?
Yep. Yeah, that's a real. It's kind of like the tool of the year, the tool of the decade, and to your point, eventually we all learn and adopt these tools. So why don't you? The idea is let's get you going on that journey right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also if it feels like cheating or if it feels like something that we shouldn't be using in schools with kids or whatever, again, I think we're going to have to change curriculum so that it meets us where we are at with
Hmm.
technology.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Um, there's a lot of controversy right now on using AI in schools. Some schools ban it. Some schools are looking for it. Funny story. When kids first heard that they could have their essay written by AI, a lot of kids just had AI do it. But at the bottom of ChatGPT often says, there you go. Would you like me to do something, 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 something else? After it does the work you told it to do. The
Yeah.
kids who are not paying attention pasted that whole thing into their assignment, and the teacher reads the assignment, and then underneath it, the line where ChatGPT says, "Would you like me to do something else?" I'm like, busted. If you're going to use
Well,
ChatGPT, just
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, and you need to read over it and check the information.
right. Always verify.
Always right.
Always verify.
Yeah. And then I think some people think it's too creepy and too sci-fi, but you know what? It's just evolution. It's where we're headed.
Yep. It's a tool out there that's been invented, and we are going to be using it as a society.
People thought that like electric and gas washing machines and dryers were creepy when they first came out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember I remember my grandmother using a hand cranked squeegee thing to wring out the clothes in the washing machine, and how how she didn't like it was, I forgot if it was the noise or the the rotors or something like that, but she didn't like the electric thing. It was much better to do it by hand, you know. So that's kind of a constant sentiment, I think, when something new comes along.
Well, I think people are afraid of it because, like we've been talking about, they just don't know how to use it or what to
Right.
use it
Right.
for.
It's the unknown.
Yeah. And I think some people are like, well, I'm not going to need to use it. And I think we're all going to need to know how to use it.
Hmm. Cool.
Yeah. So I think some people too are afraid that it's going to replace creativity. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah. So there are a lot of creative things you can do with AI, but what I think is going to happen is the people that are doing, say, doing art by hand or writing music by hand, that's going to be kind of a special that's going to be raised even higher in terms of value. So people that are skilled musicians and are skilled artists, they're not going to disappear. They're going to be their value is going to be even more, because sure, yeah, you could have AI do a painting. Sure, you could have AI write a song, but someone who's actually doing it by hand, that's wow, that's even more amazing.
Well, and I think we're still going to want and need that those in-person connections and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, human, being human.
Mhm. Mhm. So I don't think that it's going to completely take over everything. And if it does, then I think we should be taking the opportunities to get together in person more, doing other things then.
Yeah.
Let's go for a hike. Let's meet for coffee. Let's get together and share a story or talk about what's going on with life, you
Yep.
know?
One of my favorite quotes about this, or kind of the scenarios, is there's a grandmaster chess player who was beaten by the computer, Big Blue, which was a real. This is prior to AI, but there were chess games, and a grandmaster chess player was beaten by the computer, and everyone said, "Oh, that's the end of chess. That's the end of humanity." But what the question I love is, who went to the bar afterward? Not Big Blue, the
Right.
chess player and the people around him. They're the ones that got together for a human event after this chess game. So all that to say, no matter what the machines can do, humans get together and have a drink, have a party, get
Right.
together for fun. And that's the essence of humanity is connection.
Well, and that's one of the things, like, I don't think that people that play chess or any kind of games are they always going to want to just play with the computer. I mean, even my son who plays online games, he likes it better when he's playing with his friends.
Yeah,
They might
it's
not
a
be
social.
in,
Yep.
but they're playing together and they can hear each other and they're talking to each other and they're on their in their game online, but they're still connecting. And then
Right.
they get together every once in a while and see each other in person, even though they live in totally different towns and cities
Cool.
and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. It's again, it's the connection,
And
the essence.
it's kind of cool because they didn't for a long time they hadn't met in person, and then when they did meet in person they were like, hey, like it wasn't like a big deal or anything, you know.
Yeah, I met one of my online friends in person one time, and I was like, "Wow, you're a lot shorter than I thought you were."
Right.
Right?
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so I wanted to just kind of go off from our notes here a little bit. um let's let's create a prompt that somebody can use. I feel like maybe that's a little preemptive, though. I feel like maybe we need to teach people how to
Yeah.
get on.
How to get on
Yeah,
ChatGPT?
yeah.
Should we do that? Should we do a quick screen share?
What's that?
Should we do a screen share?
Yeah, that's great. It could be
Okay.
ChatGPT. It could be DeepSeek. I know a lot of people are using that one
Let's
now.
do ChatGPT. I think that was first, and that was kind of the big one. So I think it's the one most people know.
Gemini is another one.
Yeah, that's Google's.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So this is AI. This is ChatGPT. I'm already logged in, and I have a paid account, but you can you can get on and use ChatGPT even if you don't have an account, and if certainly if you're not paying for it. I was gonna let's see. Why don't I log out? I'm gonna log out, and now we're gonna see what it looks like. Um, And okay, when you just come to ChatGPT without being logged in, you can still use it. So there it is. Ask anything. Um, what can I make? Just spell tomatoes right. You actually don't have to. Did you know that you don't have to spell stuff right with the AI?
I did
AI.
know that. I asked it one time. I said, do you mind that I misspell words and have poor grammar sometimes? And it said, no, Rebecca, we understand what you're trying to say. It doesn't matter to us or me or whatever.
I saw my kid using AI and everything was misspelled, and he was abbreviating your, you are, and I'm like, what is this nonsense? And he says, it knows what I mean. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
but grammar.
No.
All right, what can I make with tomatoes, beans, and carrots? Oh, vegetable bean soup. Got it. Tomato bean stew. All right. So there it is. There is one thing you can do with AI. You're not logged in. You don't have an account.
Yeah.
Um, so let's say briefly why it's important to have an account.
When you have an account, it saves your chats. Like if you were to exit out of this or go back and go and then ask another question.
Yep. So I hit the back button. My question is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and if you were to type another question, John, and go then to that screen, so like, you know, how many inches of snow did we get in West Michigan in the last 30 days? And what does that mean for 2026? See, your chat that you just asked about the tomatoes, beans, and what did you have? Tomatoes, beans, and carrots is not
Carrots. Yeah.
there. It didn't
Right.
save it.
It didn't save it.
You
Yep.
can't go back to it. It'll just forget it. So,
Right.
um,
If you create an account, which is free,
yep,
every time you go back to AI, to ChatGPT, your list of things that you've asked it are there, and you can go back to a previous one,
yep,
and you can continue on the conversation where you left off, even if it's weeks or months later.
yep,
So those conversations kind of stay pending over time, and you can always go back to them and keep asking more questions at that point.
yep. So it just there's a way too that I think in another episode when we'll show someone when they have signed up for a free account what you can do, especially with ChatGPT. I
Yeah.
think you can do it with the other ones too. I'm just not as familiar with DeepSeek.
Sure, we'll spend time, kind of looking at all the major ones for sure.
But you can set it up in the background as well and kind of give it like a summary of yourself, who you are, how you want to be referenced, what your job is, some important information about you. So you can personalize it a little bit more because I like my chat GPT to be very direct. I don't want it to be fluffy. I just want the information. I want it to understand who I am, what my work is,
Yep.
what I'm
You want it to
into.
swear.
for, yeah, yeah. I want it to,
Keeping it
so
real, man. Keeping it real.
exactly. So you can go in the background and kind of put those things in, but I think that's probably enough for today because we're just trying to be
Yeah.
like it
Yep.
doesn't like you don't have to learn it fast, just but if you're sitting down watching TV, why not educate yourself about something?
Yeah. On your phone, you can go to a browser and go to chatgpt.com. That's
Yeah.
your starting point.
Or get the app, get the
Yep.
ChatGPT app and sign up and then use that same sign up login information when you go to your browser and open
Right.
it on your computer.
Yeah, the app is probably the easiest way to get started for many people. So the app is free. You can download it on iPhone or Android, and you can get started that way.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool. What a great intro.
Okay. What do we want to leave people with today?
Good vibes,
Good
and
good vibes.
and and a comfortably curious feeling about AI.
Okay. Yay. Thanks for
Okay.
being here, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Lots more where this came from. So we'll see you on the next episode.
Sounds good.